The next time you want to go out partying with friends, drinking, snorting coke, having some of the intercourse, having a key party, as it were, being the Hollywood swingers. Except you're not in Hollywood, you're just friends out drinking and ganting about and fucking about, as it were, and you want to complain about the price of an Uber or a Lyft with a Y for maximum douchiness. It could always be worse. You could end up hitchhiking home because people decide to leave you stranded. You could end up getting in the car with your friend that is significantly drunker than you, and you could end up like Princess Diana in that French tunnel. Or you could end up getting in a black cab, which is a Shudder original directed by Bruce Goodison, who's done television in the UK. Check out his IMDb page for the full list of his work. I'm sure he's done films. I don't really care, but he's done a lot of stuff. And it was written by Virginia Gilbert and David Michael Emerson, which sounds like a name way too snooty to be involved in this particular fucking fiasco. And Nick Frost helped with some of the additional dialogue. And what is additional dialogue anyway? Stuff like, hey you, get off that, and why not? Yeah, I'm throwing that reference in, and if you get what MST that's from, I love you guys. So yeah, that's fitting that Nick Frost is involved. Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead, by the way, and better movies, certainly better than this. He plays a cab driver named Ian, driving a black cab in a movie called Black Cab. My God, the layers this movie has already. I am astonished. It's like peeling back a goddamn bloomin' onion. This movie wasn't bloomin'. It was practically rotting from the inside out from the very beginning. That's unfair. Actually, it was okay for the first 25 or 30 minutes. Ian picks up a couple, and Sinov, however you say it, Carlson, who was in Last Night in Soho, and also Patrick, played by Luke Norris. They're out drinking with friends. There's a particular thing that I'll get into in spoilers that kind of makes them have, massive arguments, but also draws them closer a little bit later on because they're both fucking idiots. And Ian has one singular focus: to take them on the last ride of their lives. For a reason. It's a stupid reason. It's a reason that a short film would work, but not basically an 86-minute long movie. It's almost impressive how inept the characters are and how annoying every character is. And there aren't that many characters in this. And having basically a couple in a car with a guy that clearly has evil intent and driving along the roads. Are the UK countryside roads always this foggy and this dark and desolate? And I'm not even talking about the fact that it was nighttime. It really looks like a very depressing place to live. I'm genuinely asking for people in the UK because I've never been there. That being said, I like Nick Frost, so I was willing to turn this on, and then I kind of wish I could have turned it off. I really wish I had turned it off because I figured it out right within the first 10 minutes, and unfortunately, this movie does not deviate from its very simplistic path. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. It's a basic bitch of a concept. There's talent in front of the camera. I'm sure there's talent behind the camera, but good God, this is almost impressively just bland. It's just like gruel, like tasteless gruel, tasteless oatmeal. It has nothing to it. It just doesn't end up working. And the conclusion is so goddamn stupid where it's like, okay, yeah, I might have had a bit of, sympathy for Anne and Patrick if they weren't so fucking dumb and annoying. And I might have also, wanted to see Nick Frost get his comeuppance if I cared about either of the heroes. Except they weren't heroes. They were just morons. I don't know. This just didn't work for me. It is on Shudder if you want to check it out. But I'm going to get into spoilers. Terrible jump scare noises 2. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So basically, there is a ghost on Maybell Road that wants to, that is haunting this particular place. It's the ghost of a mother that lost her child. The mother got hit while trying to get away from the husband, and the child died in the goddamn woods. Now, the mother has been looking for her child ever since. So, Ian, Nick Frost's character, had a wife and child that, she had a child, and he, was the father that stepped up until he didn't, and we'll find out why here in a bit. And it turns out was pregnant. Ian was her driver. She has a kid on the way. Patrick didn't know this stuff, and Patrick is a full-on dick. Luke Norris plays the character well, except the movie starts, just not even 0 to 60. It pretty much just is obvious this guy's a fucking douche, so you don't really care for him. And after drinking with their friends Ryan and Jessica, played by Tessa Parr, you also have Tully Woodward, who's in or Woodward, that is, who was the ghost. I've seen her and stuff before. I'm trying to remember. But nevertheless, after partying and drinking and everything and having like pretty much a really, really awkward discussion where bad jokes are told and bad stories are shared, like the urban legend of the person in the back seat. You know, and oh, there's somebody in your back seat, lady. You know, that whole thing, flashing the brights, all that stuff. Nick Frost picks him up. He ends up eventually, like, he plays a, you know, David Lee's Laurie, Strange Things Happen. It's a ghost story. I actually forgot about that song, and it's actually a pretty good song. I gotta listen to it again, even though I listened to it a couple times before this. It has better writing than this movie, let me say that. So, yeah, Anne and Patrick argue. Patrick's upset because he didn't know that she was pregnant, and Ian was the one that picked her up when she came back from hospital. And then basically he ends up shocking Patrick when they try to escape, and then he threatens Anne, basically. He zip ties both of them, and Patrick's just out for most of the goddamn movie. But then, a little bit later, when they stop at a petrol station, I'm trying to appeal to my UK friends, or UK viewers at least. I don't know, do I have UK friends? I have at least people I talk to in the UK that I consider good friends. But nevertheless, basically they're at a petrol station, and he's getting some snacks. Not getting gas, shockingly. This cab must have incredible gas mileage. But then she keeps seeing this ghost that it turns out actually saw her on the way back from hospital before. So she keeps seeing the ghosts. The ghost guy in his head, the ghost was stalking his kid. Excuse me. Weather changes and allergies are a goddamn bitch. So that being said, he had this emotional toll taken on him. He left his family, basically, to make sure that his kid was protected because the ghost wanted the kid. The ghost just wants a kid. So he decides he's going to use Anne as a sacrifice. And then he ends up killing Patrick at this house. And no big loss there. Not anything against the actor, I mean the character. And then she's trapped again after seemingly... This is a pretty big house with a lot of, big hallways. But, I mean, they shoot down one or two, but nevertheless. She ended up actually losing the child on the way back. And it turns out it's because this ghost took her child, caused her to lose it while she was on the way back, I guess. Kinda, maybe. That's the way they explained it. So now he can't get her to leave his kid alone, and now he's continuing to be haunted. And then, Anne ends up running away, but then runs back into the road when he's trying to get, to leave, and ends up hitting her. And now Anne haunts him. Yeah, there's your fucking story. Bullshit. I would care if I had a reason to care about any of these characters. I'm sorry, F. It's just not good. It's not good. Is it one of the worst films of the year? No. It's one of the most boring films of the year, at least. So, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle, Letterboxd handle, and Blue Sky handle in the description. I'm John Ricklin. I'll see you soon.